Welcome to the Character-Driven Life and Leadership Podcast, where we train and coach leaders to grow, develop, and lead with character first as the foundation of leadership. Hi, I'm Coach Dane, professional gymnastics coach, teacher, mentor, Air Force veteran, speaker, author, and creator of the Tricycle Effect. At LMDC, the Leadership and Management Development and Character Academy, we believe that character is the foundation that drives everything. Your people skills, your technical skills, and ultimately, your influence. If you want to grow in leadership and life without wobbling off course, you're in the right place. Let's dive in and shape the kind of leadership that endures, grounded in character, balanced in action, and bold in impact. Join me and let's trike on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Character-Driven Leadership Podcast. I am your host, Coach Dane Deutsch. This episode is our 7th segment discussing different aspects of internet security and, more specifically, digital ID. I want to start today by asking you a question. When you look at your phone and it unlocks because it recognizes your face, do you feel safe? For the last decade, we've been told that biometrics are the gold standard. We were told you can change a password, but you can't change your face. It made sense, right? We traded those annoying 6-digit pins for the friction-free ease of just looking at our screens. We let iPhones map our retinas. We let Androids memorize the cadence of our voices. We thought we were the ultimate password. But today I'm looking at a blog post that says we were wrong. We are diving deep into an article titled "The Biometric Breakpoint: Why Your Face is No Longer a Password." It was published in January 2026 by the team over at Unplugged. And if you care about your digital privacy, this is a wake-up call you need to hear. The core argument Unplugged makes is terrifyingly simple. The identity perimeter, that invisible wall proving you are who you say you are, has been vaporized. We are living in a moment where your digital likeness and your physical presence are now two entirely different things. And the scariest part? They are equally hackable. We aren't just talking about funny deepfake videos of celebrities anymore. We are talking about deepfakes moving straight into your bank account. Now, I know what you're thinking. My phone has advanced sensors. It uses infrared. It uses structured light. You can't just hold up a photo of me and unlock it. And you're right. Modern smartphones are marvels of engineering. They verify that the person looking at the screen is a 3-dimensional human. But here's the catch that the Unplugged team points out. Hackers figured out that they don't need to fool the lens. They just need to bypass it entirely. This is called an injection attack. Using virtual camera software and app cloning tools, attackers can now inject a hyper-realistic AI-generated video stream directly into the phone's authentication workflow. Think about that. To the device, it looks like a live feed coming from the camera. But to the hacker, it's a puppet show starring you. You might be wondering about those liveness checks. You know the ones, where the banking app asks you to blink or turn your head to the left or smile. According to Unplugged, those security measures are being systematically dismantled. There are open-source generative AI models. One mentioned in the article is called Deep Face Live, that can map a stolen likeness onto a criminal's movements in real time. The hacker blinks, the AI avatar of you blinks, the hacker turns their head, the avatar turns its head. It happens with zero latency. It passes the active liveness checks that were supposed to keep us safe. But if you think that's bad, we need to talk about your voice. The article argues that your voice is potentially even more vulnerable than your face. How much audio do you think an AI needs to clone your voice convincingly? 5 minutes? An hour? Try 10 seconds. With just 10 seconds of audio scraped from a LinkedIn video or a TikTok, AI can clone your vocal print. It creates a synthetic voice that is capable of dynamic conversation, designed specifically to bypass voice recognition systems used by financial institutions and smart homes. So, where is all this data coming from? Why would a hacker have a 3D map of your face or a recording of your voice? Well, the irony, as Unplugged puts it, is that we built the arsenal ourselves. Every Zoom recording, every high-res selfie, every YouTube upload. These are the raw materials for your own impersonation. The blog describes a terrifying method called industrialized scraping. Bots are currently roaming the social web, building biometric profiles by extracting the geometry of your face and the frequencies of your voice and storing them in criminal databases. And thanks to deepfake as a service platforms, you don't even need to be a coding genius to pull this off. Low-level cybercriminals can now generate digital replicas of you that are indistinguishable from reality. Okay, take a breath. That's the doom and gloom. But the reason I wanted to cover this specific post from Unplugged is that they aren't just highlighting the problem. They are a hardware company, and they are proposing a solution. They've built a device called the UP phone, and the philosophy behind it is really interesting. They call it a physical answer to a digital ghost. The logic here is that since software can be tricked, and since your face can be cloned, we need to return to something tangible. We need to move the goalposts back to the physical world. Unplugged highlights 3 main features of the UP phone that fight back against this biometric apocalypse. First, they use hardware-level identity. While a hacker can replicate your face, they cannot deepfake a physical object in your pocket. The UP phone is designed to use external hardware keys, like YubiKeys, via USB-C or NFC as the ultimate proof of identity. By requiring a physical touch to unlock your sensitive data, you are using a security layer that AI simply cannot touch. Second, they talk about a hardened software vault. This is about isolation. They keep the secret keys for your accounts isolated from the rest of the phone's software to stop those injection attacks I mentioned earlier. They also handle your 2-factor authentication codes locally on the device, so those codes never touch the cloud. But the feature that really caught my eye? It's the kill switch. Standard phones are black boxes. Software controls everything. Even when you turn a setting off, you're trusting the software to actually turn it off. The UP phone has a physical battery disconnect switch. This isn't a software toggle. It creates a physical air gap. When you flip that switch, you cut power to the camera and the microphone instantly. It ensures that no AI, no malware, and no hacker can secretly watch or record you to build that biometric profile. It gives the power back to you. So, what is the takeaway here? Even if you don't run out and buy an UP phone today, what can we learn from this article? Unplugged concludes with a concept they call zero trust, total awareness. The old safety net is gone. We have to stop assuming that just because we see a familiar face on a screen or hear a familiar voice on the phone, that it's actually that person. Biometric convenience has become our greatest vulnerability. As the team at Unplugged writes, the ultimate firewall is no longer a more complex algorithm. It's a vigilant user. In other words, it is the human or our humanness that is the ultimate firewall. AI is evolving exponentially, but your awareness, that is the only asset that cannot be cloned. I want to give a huge thank you to the team at Unplugged for this insightful, if slightly terrifying, look at the future of cybersecurity. You can find the link to the full article, The Biometric Breakpoint, in the description below. Until next time, keep your guard up, and maybe think twice before you post that next selfie. I gotta bounce. Thanks for listening, and trike on.
All right, you've been listening to the Character Driven Life and Leadership Podcast with Coach Dane, training and coaching leaders to grow with character first. Leadership isn't about the titles, it's about trust. And when you lead with character, your people skills and technical skills follow, and your leadership impact multiplies. Subscribe, share, and connect with me here at lmdc.us to keep growing you in leadership and life with character at the foundation. Until next time, love, live, lead, and trike on.